If you're tired of buying the top of meme coins, this strategy is going to change how you trade meme coins forever. I'm going to reveal the exact entries, exit, and stop losses step by step here and what you should be looking for confirmation on a trade. Let's get into it. First, I just want to go back in time real quick. I'm just going to go over what I like to see on the charts so you guys get an idea of what I'm looking for when I am taking a trades. And then I'm going to cover some live trades with you next so you can actually see where I bought, see where I sold and everything like that. I have like 3 or 4 trades I go over. But really quick, just to go over what I'm going to cover in this video. I'm going to cover the 200 EMA here. I had questions about the EMA, which funny enough, I use in perpetual futures trading all the time. I'm just now starting to use it with meme coins. Why I haven't before, I don't know, but it's pretty cool to see. So here's one example of what I am looking for really quick before we get started into live trades. So we have, right, if we draw our fib from the bottom area to the top here, our fib retracement, we're looking for entry 0.5, 0.618, or 0.786. After that, we are waiting for confirmation for a change of character. So we didn't really get a good confirmation of a change of character here. What is a change of character? If you guys don't know, you can certainly check out my channel. I go over a lot of TA concepts. But a change of character just means you'll see this high here, broke above this high, signaling we could potentially get a change in the direction. Now I'm not entering yet. Why not? I'm waiting for a higher low. So we did get a little bit of a higher low here. We got another almost kind of double bottom going on here, which means we could even more potentially expect a reversal as well. So once we got kind of this uptrend going, we have our change of character. This guy's coming over this guy here. Then we're looking like we're set to enter, maybe we make this higher low and we get in, somewhere around here or something, which is fine. You will get in later on trades, but I feel like meme coins, you really need a confirmation. The other thing with this trade, right, here's the 200 EMA I'm going to cover on my live trades next, but this blue line is the 200 EMA. So you'll see it actually popped above the 200 EMA here, signaling a more bullish sign. If we're below the 200 EMA, usually in perpetual futures, we're looking for shorts. But if we pop above, we're probably expecting more bullish momentum. So next thing, let's say we entered this trade. Next thing we're looking for are take profit levels. We just don't want to enter and not know where we're getting out yet. Also really quick, where is our stop loss? I would put our stop loss probably just below this fib line here, this low. So give it some breathing room. You don't want it like directly on top of it. Sometimes they'll wick right there on top of you and do a double bottom or something. But give it a little bit of breathing room, you can do, usually mine is typically about 50%. So if I take my ruler here, let's say we enter here. Oh, wow. We're looking at, about a 45% if we gave it some breathing room, right? We don't want to put it directly on the last low. Our stop loss just goes below that last low on the change character. Okay. So usually it's around 50% if you take your ruler. Next, looking for take profit levels, usually at the 1.272, 1.618. This one really pumped up, right? We went all the way to almost the 3.618, so at 250K. So really a better coin here. You'll notice we did have a drop here after hitting the 2.272 level. So you can choose to take profits, at each one of these levels. So we could take 25% here, 25% here, 25% here, however you kind of work it. But you'll notice during this whole time, we dipped back onto this 200 EMA, held it, dipped back again, held it, and kept going up. The other thing I'm currently looking at are any divergences on the MACD. So we did end up getting a double bottom here on the MACD, right? This is kind of going more downward, I would say. So divergence, gonna signal a further pop-up. So we got kind of more downward here. While this, we're getting a complete kind of straight double bottom, signaling we could get a pop-up again. Not always, but these do help out with your TA overall. So those are all the things I'm currently looking at. I'm going to go over some live trades with you guys now so you can see it in action. But those are the key concepts I plan on covering in this video. Just kind of looking at my graded section here today. PBJ down. Oh, PBJ is going, huh? Where'd this go to? 0.618. This one might go up quite a bit higher. Buying in late again. Look at me. So PBJ, we can look at 300, 400, maybe 500K. So it's getting some strong wicks there. and some kind of quick buys. I'm going to mark this 2.272 area. Dang. So big thing is with this PBJ coin, this was under migrated. We had, what, 200 to 400 pro traders in this under migrated. Got in and out quick because I was looking at other coins. And if we pull this up here, you'll see the 0.618. Tapped it quite a few times. Did get a change of character eventually. I kind of entered a little bit late, but we were getting higher lows here. The other great thing about this coin, what I'm noticing, if we get these higher market caps above 200K, they can be likely to go higher. So we had a lot of pro traders in this one. We also beat our 100K market cap. So this first kind of wave up went all the way to 224K, which is nice. So came all the way up to 470K now. So once you see these change of character, kind of higher lows, it's a 3x there. So put 1 soul in, get 3 soul back. See if we can find maybe another fib retracement here. Getting some bigger wicks, so thinking it could be in for a pullback, but there's that 2.272 level I marked out. Got this really big kind of wick at the top. Not going to enter anything yet because once we come past this point, we technically made a change of character to the downside. So a reversal, which with this big wick at the top, PBJ is coming back down. We hit that 500K area. Want to see if we can possibly come down to the 0.618 or 0.786 level, get a change of character and some higher lows. Just waiting on confirmation. We do not have confirmation of a change of character or anything really yet. Here, we're getting a change of character, we're making a new high. Now, I want to see a higher low being formed at the support level. So, not getting that higher low we need. That's why I wait to enter. So, I just kind of flew past our support level. What I would like to see there is a higher low. So, we did not get that. So, we are not entering yet. So we hit this 0.5 level. We got a little bit of a change of character. However, we failed to hold support at the change of character. Just cut right through. So usually I'm looking for a higher low to be made there, which we did not get. So Milo's rug, 62% peddlers, 38% holders. The chart looks unnatural. We'll look at some of these. So there's no wicks on these candles or anything. Big pulls back. It's a rug. Got a lot of insiders and bundlers on it currently. This one has a lot of resistance at the top. So all this back and forth, it's going to have to cut through, which is going to be difficult. This one doesn't look too shabby. See if we can find something. So we're getting a slight change of character on thing on here. Going to, which are kind of support level with this candlestick. So this is a pretty bullish candlestick as well on the 30-second. There's no wicks on it. Let's see what happened here. Woo! I felt this one earlier. Wow. So, yeah. Saw this one around, what was this? 12:09, so an hour ago. But really quick on this one. This was an hour ago. Tell because I drew my fib earlier. Came down to the 0.618. This is what I'm typically looking for. Came up, made a change of character on the 5-second. This looks super tiny kind of right now. But we have a change of character here. It did unfortunately come back down, and usually I'm setting my stop loss below these kind of lows. But that's why manual stop loss went through that a little bit. But we did get a change of character. Got some higher lows being made. A lot of times you'll see it come back down, hit the 0.618 twice. This was a good coin, by the way. Why? Because we had a higher market cap. So we had a higher market cap, around 3.3 was the highest. Came back down to the 0.618, made a change of character there. We got our higher lows in. So enter, what, 1.45? Looking at 5 or 6x there. All right, so PBJ is ticking up here. I'm also waiting on Thanon, which is still stuck in final stretch. We still have the bonding curve about 84%. 140 pro traders in this, so I'm just waiting. Really like to see PBJ go up back to the 600K level. We may get some resistance around this area, though. You'll notice we got a bunch of candlesticks, kind of a big consolidation area. So from here to here, which it's currently hitting that resistance level, right? This guy here. So I'm watching that pretty closely, as well as our thing on here, and just kind of waiting. So Thanon's still ticking up. We're hitting a resistance level here, so I'm thinking I might have to call it if we can't push past this by resistance area. This area here with this candle, which is exactly what it's doing. I was hoping it would tick up some more to that 70K level and migrate, but it's been an hour. Probably gonna just call it, just do a break-even trade, which is fine. Same with PBJ, just really struggling at this resistance area. So by resistance area, it's the second wave, but you have this. You'll see these candles coming down into it, and it trying to pump up, but not really having much luck with it. Would really need to push past, kind of like we got this bullish candlestick here. We'd really need a big bullish candlestick past that in order to see some kind of movement. All right, so got in this trade here around 25K. Basically flipped my fib for entry. Looking at the, 0.5, 0.618, 0.786 level. I also have a 200 EMA up. You'll notice a pretty nicely around there. I also use the 200 EMA on perpetual futures trading. So a lot of times you'll see price come down to the 200 EMA, bounce on it, or it will come down farther below and bounce below it, kind of like it did here. So this is all I'm kind of really looking for, but it's moving pretty nicely. So just trying to hit the take profit level of 1.272, as long as we don't get a double top up here. So start to get a double top, probably just exit out. If not, if we can cook higher to the 75K area, that'd be really great. Still moving up here. Get rid of these guys. So it may want to come back down and revisit this 200 EMA, this blue line here. We're currently kind of making a double top. So if we can't hold this kind of support level here, I'll probably just exit out, especially if we make like a change of character here. I'll just hold in, wait until this 1.272 area for take profit at 74K. See if we can make it up there, or even this 1.618 at around 90K, which would make sense with our psychological selling levels at 100K. So we are getting a lot of resistance on this top area. It's just kind of back and forth. So probably just gonna sell half and see if we can ride this up further. If not, that's okay. So touching that 200 EMA, as you'll see there on that blue line, didn't really hold the support area I would like. So hoping it would hold kind of this area here. So it is holding this 200 EMA quite well. We kind of did pass below the support area, but still holding on to the last of my position. See if we can make it up to the 1.272 or 1.618 areas, our ideal take profit levels, I would say. Get some bigger wicks here. Just wick through the 1.272 area. So we are hitting our 80K level. Typically we'll see this around psychological selling level around the 80 to 100K area. May have to get out the rest of my position here, but really want it to hit this 1.618 at least, because that's really around 100K. So call it a day there. Not too bad of a little trade while we're recording, but playing with the 200 EMA this round. Somebody was asking about that, I know, and I use it all the time on perpetual futures trading. Never really tried it with Memecoin trading yet, but you can see how it did bounce off this blue line here. And if you're looking at EMA, if you just type in EMA, be this moving average exponential. I do need to test this out for, and then if you click settings, you can adjust the length to 200 here. and it'll appear as that blue line or, you know, whatever color you want to choose for it. But usually with the 200 EMA, you are looking for bounces off that. A lot of times price will gravitate towards that area. And usually with perpetual futures, we're taking shorts or longs, right? So if it goes below the kind of 200 EMA area, we're looking more at shorts. Obviously, you can't do that in meme coin trading, but when it did pop above this kind of was a good signal to me. Hey, we're popping above the 200 EMA here. It will take a little bit to appear. So I'm on the 5-second time frame here. So back here, I think we were about 8 to 10 minutes into the coin. And then it started popping up for me around the 15-minute time range. And this is in the migrated section. So it will take a little bit for this 200 EMA to pop up for you, you know, because of such a little bit amount of time here. But you'll see we did get some nice bounces off of it. And the only thing I was looking at, pro traders were above 100 here. We did have kind of a higher bundle amount on this coin, and then eventually I'll notice a lot of times it'll tick back into green eventually, especially when we're making this turnaround here. So the bundle amount went from like 14 to 7% or something and just kind of continued to go down. Now we're in the green altogether. So do watch out for that. And like I said here, all we're looking for, if you take your fib retracement, bottom to top here, the main entry points I'm looking for are the 0.618, the 0.5, or the 0.786. You could put multiple entries if you want. The other thing is I am waiting for confirmation of a trade. I'm not just entering right away at the 0.786, even though it did come down to that level nicely, okay? I am waiting for a change of character, which I got right here. That's why I bought here. And then it kind of came down, but you have to have patience with these trades, right? So it may seem like you're losing money here, but a lot of times these meme coin trades, especially in the migrated section, and if it has above 100, 150 pro traders in it, dependent on the day, right? I'm usually choosing the highest coins with the most amount of pro traders. When this one first launched, it had back to this number, it was around 200, and then it dipped down, right? The pro traders are going to dip down as price goes down. So it dipped down to around 100 and 150 pro traders around this area, and then kind of started to tick back up along with this graph here. But we had a change of character here. If you don't watch my other videos, I do have a technical analysis video going over changes of character and breaks of structure. I'll link it below. But here's our change of character. Change of character means we could expect a potential reversal. So once we get a change of character above this high area, we're also getting a general uptrend. So we're making higher lows here. So we got a nice general uptrend going. Did come back down on me, but it did make a double bottom, right? So we have a double bottom. If you're looking for somewhere to place your stop loss, could just be below this last low, because if it goes past this low, it's probably going to tank further. Just telling you that right now. So, you know, should be about 50%. My stop loss is usually around that 50% range. And your take profit levels are usually going to be the 1.272 or the 1.618. It depends how much resistance you have here at the top. So we had a little bit of resistance around this area, and you saw this is what we got off to the right-hand side here. We were kind of hitting this resistance area. It came down and then just came back up, but we were staying above this 200 EMA here, which was nice. So it is hitting our 1.618 level, you know, hold this from here to here. That's a, 3 to 4x, okay? So your stop loss, had you lost this trade, it came below this kind of area here. You're looking at that 50% range, which isn't bad. That's what I'm typically seeing, anywhere from 30 to 50% for your stop loss. And for your take profit, though, this is how you stay in profit. If you're winning 50% of your trades and your trades are 2x would only be around this area here, okay? Or we're hitting a solid, 5, 6x now. So, this is a pretty decent trade to make in regards to where your stop loss is. Your stop loss goes just below this last low here. So here's that low, okay? So that is what I am typically looking at. Changes of character, general uptrend before entering a trade. We're hitting those fib lines at the 0.786, 0.5, or 0.618 level, okay? And then we're looking at take profits with these fib lines that also, funny enough, match our psychological selling levels, meaning around the 100K, 500K, a million marks, okay? This 1.618 lined up very, very nicely with our 100K selling mark. That was kind of a quick trade. I wanted to show you guys. I've had questions about stop losses, changes of character. The 200 EMA, I'm going to work on playing with more, but it did come down, touch it nicely again. You know, it's staying with this general uptrend here. So the 200 EMA is something I'm going to further test out and play with, but is definitely something you can bring in your charts and see how it goes for you. All right, currently taking a look at Toaster here. We have about 334 pro traders in it. We are currently holding above the 200 EMA. We did originally, for taking our fib, and we saw this back here. We did held our 0.618, made a change of character, held that level pretty well, made a couple of double bottoms before pushing up here. So I'm trying to find a good pullback area currently. Wondering if it wants to come back down to touch this 200 EMA, and if it will hold it again. We did hit a psychological selling level of 100K, so I'm just waiting to see if we can find a good pullback area. So I missed the 0.382 level. Clearly missed the 0.382 level. Ticking back up now. It did hold. I do want to show you guys this though, just because it did hold this 200 EMA. You'll see how it's positioned above it. It didn't quite come down and touch it like I thought it would, but it did come down close to it. A lot of times, I'm just going to show you a couple of other coins I have pulled up here. But here was another one I was looking at. I didn't enter this one. But you'll see here, might take it a while for the 200 EMA to appear, but you'll see this one just kind of stayed below past the 200 EMA. This one tried to come a little bit above it, but you'll see it tank back down, try to pop up again, and it just couldn't break above it. Same here and here. So this is how you can use the 200 EMA if you prefer something besides the MACD or Bollinger Bands or something like that. A couple of these I'm still watching. This one's about an hour late. I don't know if we have enough pro traders in this one at 81, and it's moving quite slowly here. Same with this one. Below the 200 EMA, you'll see once again, comes up, touches it, and then just tank back down. It just didn't have the room to come up further. It's all hindsight 2020, right? But here, back here on this one, this was a little bit more of a kind of sketchy coin, I believe, but you'll see came above the 200 EMA, touched again, came above, touched again, and then finally just broke down beneath it. And now it's just holding below the 200 EMA level, which is this blue line here. Let's see if there was any others. I don't think so. Should probably caught this trade. This would have been a good one. A lot of times I've noticed as well, if you see it holding the 0.236 or 0.382 line, and this will typically be on faster moving charts or higher volume. A lot of times that's more of a bullish sign, okay, than bearish. So if the chart slows down, we could probably expect to hit the 0.5, 0.618, 0.786 level. However, if the chart's kind of moving quicker like this one was, and it held that 0.382 level, pop back up, then it's probably more of a bullish chance that you can take there, right? Maybe entered around there, probably around a 1.5 to 2x. You might have got in late, so probably more likely a 2x on that trade. But if we flipped our chart around as well, we were looking at take profit levels. I just kind of missed this one. But you'll see it did come up to our 1.272 again around that. It's a 130K level, which is typical. So we can wait for the come down here, see if it wants to maybe pop back up. But again, above our 200 EMA, it's currently below it. So right now, currently riding below the 200 EMA. We do have a good amount of pro traders in it. You'll see our insiders here ticking up, so we can definitely expect a come down in price. So just waiting to see what it might want to do around the 0.786 level or 0.618 level. A lot of times when you see these insider numbers start to come out, price will start to drop down. So if we see this kind of start to level out, maybe around these fib lines, and we get a change of character and a higher low, possibly look at entry for a trade. You'll see even there, dropped really hard below that 200 EMA, popped back up to touch it, and now just writing it down again. See what we get at this 0.786 level. Might take a minute. So our insiders are starting to tick more downward. We are holding this level pretty nicely. So it's trying to pop back above this 200 EMA here and see if it can hold it, which it looks like it is. And I haven't entered yet. Fine. Just ride this up real quick. See if it wants to hit this resistance area around the 0.618, or if we're able to ride this to the 170K level. Insiders are still at 6%. However, it has dropped down from that 12% range and is still currently dropping, which is good. So usually when I see that, price will tend to follow invertedly, I guess. Let's see how high it could go. So we're still holding this 200 EMA level. See what it does around this resistance area we have here. Some candles going through, and then resistance at the top around this 0.786 fib line. Sometimes we'll hit this resistance area. I'll just continue back downward, but use a trailing stop loss here and just trail up. Just need some patience sometimes with these trades. So our insiders are back in the green. Still not great, but all right. So it's really kind of struggling with this area. Our 200 EMA has currently flattened out, so meaning more consolidation than anything else, as you'll see with this kind of sideways action here. We'll see if we're able to hold this 200 EMA or not. Just been kind of above, below. Haven't gotten out of my trade yet, but probably a 50-50 shot. So I'm just gonna try to stay patient over the next 10 minutes or so, see if we can get nice upward momentum here. We did hit the 130K level, which is why I picked this coin as well. Not only did we have about 300 to 400 pro traders in it, but it did hit 130K. So a little bit better than a lot of coins I've been seeing lately, at least in the migrated section. So we'll see if we do get a double top at this one level on the fib. I may just get out. If not, we're going to attempt to hold to the 1.272 at 170K or 1.618 at 215K. Takes a little bit of patience with these trades. We entered back here at 1:51 p.m. It's currently 2:05 p.m. my time, so we're about 15 minutes into this trade from when we entered, and then 32 minutes overall since it migrated. So these trades do take some patience. I know a lot of meme coin videos, they're pretty much in and out of trades rather quickly, but these are catching in on the pullback and writing it back up. We'll see if our 200 EMA can flip back around here. Right now it's just in consolidation mode, and you'll usually see that when it's just flat like this. All right, so we had another bounce off the 200 EMA here. It's really just having trouble with this resistance area I kind of talked about in the beginning. You'll see it's coming up towards this area and hitting this resistance level. Really want it to fly through though, because if it flies through that level, we can more than likely fill this fair value gap on this big red drop down we had. But I'll hold it, see what happens.